Hi everyone, welcome to the first of 3 GoPro tutorials. This video is focused on the basics of the camera and everything you need to get started recording videos and taking photos. To get started, take your GoPro out of the box where you should find the camera, a cable, and a few extra attachment parts that we'll get to in later videos. Before we go on, if you can follow along with a GoPro, that'll be best since it is a bit hard to read the screen in these recordings. Okay, now that you've taken your GoPro out of the box, if you look on the left side under the 9, you'll see the power button. Press this, it'll beep 3 times and tell you that it's on. Amazing. So now here we have our main menu screen. This is where you're going to be doing most of your shooting for footage and pictures. But if there's a lot of options on here and there's only a few that we need to worry about for now. So on the top right, it tells you the amount of battery that you have left. On the top left, it tells you the amount of storage that you have left in hours and minutes. And then in the middle, it tells you what mode you're in. Right now, we're in video mode, which is exactly where we should be and probably what your camera will say when it starts out. Okay, the only other thing that you need to worry about for now is this button at the bottom right, which is the zoom. So if you press it and then you drag up, you can zoom in, and drag back, you can zoom out. And you can just click in the center to get rid of it. All the rest is to customize settings and whatnot. But now that we know where the basics of the menu are, we can record our first video. So if you just move to the top, you'll see there's one more button, which is the record button. So if you press that, you will see we are now recording some video. In the top middle now, it shows you the amount of time that you've been recording. So now we've been recording for a total of 10 seconds now, and you can just move around and yay, we're recording. Awesome. To stop recording, you just press the top button again, and it's amazing. So now that we've taken our first video, let's figure out where it is so we can watch it and see if we liked what we did. So you're going to take your finger, move it to the bottom, and just swipe up. It'll immediately start playing your last video. So I'm actually going to tap in the center to pause that. And then in the top right, you'll see here a button that you can press that will mute the audio of, if I can press it, mute the audio of your video. There we go. Now it's muted. And so now if I play it, it won't play the audio. It'll just play the video, but I'm going to keep that paused. The other options that you have here for when you're viewing your media is the trash button. So you can delete the video here. This is the playback speed. So if you wanted to go in slow-mo or something. And then these two are the only other options that I think are really important for you to know. You don't really need to worry about that playback speed yet. This is if you can favorite. So if you did a bunch of takes and you're like, ooh, and you're watching them back to see which one you like, you'd say, ooh, I like this one. You can click that and mark it as your favorite. And then this one is you can press it and it'll bring up a bar where it shows you where you are in the video, and you can drag it, just kind of like the normal bar on YouTube. So right now we're in the middle of the video. And then the last thing when you're viewing your media is say, hey, I want to find a video that isn't the last one that I took. You just click this grid up here on the left, and it'll show you all the media that you have. So these are some videos and pictures that I've been taking as I've been making these videos. And you can pick any of them to look at, but you can also select multiple of them, and you can delete them using that trash button at the top right. So that is mainly everything that you need to know about, oops, I just selected all. And we're just going to press back and then back again. And then to exit the media viewer, you just swipe back down. All right, so now that we have created a video and watched the video, let's talk about how you're going to take a photo. So there are a few ways you can switch your GoPro from video mode to photo mode. The first one is using the power button on the left. You just press it once, and it's going to change over to photo mode. And then immediately you'll see on the top left, it says, mine says 999 plus now instead of hours. This is telling you how many photos that you can take. The zoom is still in the same location. So if you press that, you can drag it up and down to zoom. And then there's some more camera specific photos settings. All right. And then the other way that you can go back and forth between the modes is you can swipe left and right. So now I'm back in video, and then I'm in time lapse actually right now, and then video, and then photo. So let's go to photo. And then say I want to take a photo, you're still going to use that top button on the top, the red one that says record, and then you just press it and you're like, hey, look, I took my first photo. Amazing. You still want to view this the same way, so you scroll to the bottom and there's my photo. If I go to all media, you'll see I still have all of the media, including the videos, because this is your section for all your media, not just either pictures or videos, depending on the mode you're in. All right, let's go back to video. So we've talked about what happens if you swipe up or if you swipe left or right. We do need to talk about what happens if you swipe down. So there are a bunch of different menu options, including all of these, and then also these two things that have a lot of different customization options within there. And we're going to talk about one setting in connections in just a little bit. So I just want to show you what that is. But there's one setting that I want to talk about this time in case you're not liking how your videos are coming out. So if you click on the standard and then you click on the little pencil edit tool right here, it's going to take you to all the settings. And if you just scroll a bunch, you can ignore all of them until you find one that says sharpness. Click that. I'm going to advise you that you're probably not going to want it on high. A medium is probably fine. I actually like low on some of them. What this does is it takes it softens the edges of all of your objects. And so if you don't have a lot of light, sharpness will make the picture seem really grainy. And it's the opposite of what you want when you're using a nice camera like this GoPro. So I end up keeping it on low for now. So just something to keep in mind. If you don't want to get into that, then that's totally fine. You just might not like how it's coming out. So you see here, I actually switched modes. I want to be in standard for now. So I clicked on activity. So let's go to standard. Great. So the last thing I want to show you about with this GoPro is what we call the backdoor, is this little section on the right here, and there's a little hook spot here. And if you pull that open, it's going to feel like you're breaking the camera. Just go with me on that. It is designed to do that. It is just meant to stay closed because these are action cameras. This is where the battery is and where the SD card is. So you can actually use that to transfer photos, but I'm going to teach you an easier way. But that's where both of those are. More importantly though, this is where you're going to charge your cable. There's a little spot here. I understand it's hard to see on here. Maybe that's easier. Yeah, you can see that there. So I'm going to take the cable and you're just going to plug that in there. It's USB-C. And then you just plug it into the USB on your computer and you'll be able to transfer files or, more importantly, charge your camera. So I'm going to close this back door again and talk about the last setting that we need to worry about, which is the setting that's going to let us transfer our videos over to our computer, because we're going to need to post them on Google Classroom and stuff like that, right? So what you're going to want to do is you're going to scroll down from the top, swipe down, and then swipe to the left so you can go to connections. And from connections, you click that, and there should be an option called USB connection. That's the third down. It'll probably be set to GoPro Connect. In order to transfer your videos and pictures, you want to make sure that it's set to MTP. And once that's all set, you can just click out of there, click back, and swipe back up. And then you are all set. So now if you plug your GoPro into a computer with that backdoor slot to a USB on your computer, you should be able to drag your files in. Okay, so I have plugged my GoPro into my PC, and when that happens, the GoPro screen should say USB connection, and then on the bottom, if you switched it to MTP instead of GoPro Connect, it will say MTP. If it does say GoPro Connect, you need to go back into the settings by swiping down, swiping over to connections, and selecting under USB connections that you want MTP instead of GoPro Connect. So now that we're here, I'm going to select on the file Explorer, and you should see under this PC something that says Hero Black 9. If you click on that, there'll be a drive that shows you that you can look at everything, and you select that, you go to DCIM, this 100 GoPro, and there's all of the media that you have. Now, on the GoPro, it will also store some files, so such as this THM file or this LRV file. Those are used to create previews of the media that you've taken on the GoPro, so you don't need to worry about dragging those in. So if I want to take this this one right here, I'm going to just drag it in, and you can copy it to the desktop. Then you can, rename it. And then you can do what you want with it, upload it to Google Drive, edit it further, save it forever. But that's how you can upload your media to your computer. Okay, now that we have unplugged our GoPro from our computer and we're all set with shooting for the day, what we're going to do is just make sure that you go to the left and you hold that power button for 3 seconds. And it'll just turn off. You can pack it up back in its box, and you're all set for the day. Thanks so much for tuning into this first video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.